I should be sad.
Welcome back to another post-game show by Mill, and I'm joined by Joe here. Thank you for joining me, Joe. This wasn't a good game, honestly.
Don't thank me,
Ugly
Bill. I
defense
want to
from the
cry. It was so
ugly
sad.
defense from the Knicks tonight. I don't think I've gotten mad at too many Knicks games this season so far, but tonight for some reason made me really mad and just extremely annoyed. But that's honestly how I've been feeling the past few days. So maybe it's just me. But were you feeling mad or frustrated watching tonight?
Nah, this game definitely brought out some anger, especially in the second half. Even the first half, even though the Knicks went into halftime only down 3, it was 75-72, and we're not a team that's meant to. We're not the Pacers, we're not, or the Celtics. We're not
Yeah.
meant to be in these high scoring, crazy games. Like, the idea is that we want to go into halftime up 55-50, grind it out a little bit, you know. So Vin is going to be in the chat a lot for this because me and him have been fighting for the past like 30 minutes.
What are you
Because
guys fighting about?
so I'm so glad you asked. Every single time BKE, as in Ange and Vin, post something on Twitter and I disagree with it, not every single time. First of all, I disagree with a lot that gets posted on the BKE account. I probably respond less than 10% of the time. When we first were doing this, I responded way more. I was more of a dick. I get it. Like, it was very aggravating, but like that resentment's never fully gone all the way. So one of them posted that Jalen, like, when is like Jalen Brunson going to get respect? Like, they're literally saying that most times when the Knicks go out, Jalen Brunson is the second best player on the court. This is BS. When's Jalen Brunson going to get respect? And I'm like, yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, sometimes, like, I think Brunson's better than, obviously as a Knicks fan, maybe there's bias involved, but I think Brunson's better than like plenty of people on teams that like would say otherwise. Like the Paolo Banchero thing. I watch Paolo Banchero get like 8 points once every like 12 games. Like, no matter how bad Brunson's doing on our night, he's never going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, Paolo's still really young
Yeah.
and going through flaws, and he's not better than Jalen Brunson yet. So like when Kenny Smith said that was BS. But Jalen Brunson's not better than Giannis, and on a lot of nights not better than Dame. And for me to have to like be fighting with Vin about that in the first place, and me trying to beg and plead him to actually come on camera to say whatever BS he wants to try to spin to indicate to anyone that Jalen Brunson is better at basketball than Giannis Antetokoumpo, that is insane. And now he's trying to backtrack by saying he's better than Dame. He's also not really better than Dame. Sometimes he is, sometimes he's not. It's more like closer to 50-50. Dame has deeper range. Like, Brunson's finally getting to the point of having deeper range. They've literally talked about it so much this year about like Brunson going farther back, increasing his 3-point percentage, trying to get deeper and deeper, giving his team more space and all that stuff. Dame's literally made game-winning shots in the playoffs over Paul George from like 34 feet out. We've all seen that replay over and over and over again. Dame's led teams that are way worse than this to the second round of the playoffs before. He's also scored 60 points like over 6 times in his career. Like, I don't have to, it's not like that crazy to say that Dame is still better than Jalen Brunson. Is he on the downswing of his career? Sure. Is Jalen Brunson going up, probably passing him as we speak? Also, sure. But Vin is basically just trying to scream and plead that Brunson is better than both players because I disagreed with the tweet and said that Brunson's not better than Giannis ever and not better with Dame in the most nights. And then he takes it as I am personally attacking BKE and I'm going against our team for saying that because I went against some stupid thing he tweeted online because he does it for fans and casuals and not for smarter, nuanced NBA fans. I'm not actually fighting with Vin. It's just like he takes it as me disagreeing with BKE as a personal vendetta, like I stabbed him in his throat, which I didn't.
I don't even think you're wrong, Joe. I agree with you. I mean, like right now, I would still say that Damian Lillard is a better player, and like you said, he's probably hitting, the last final years of his prime right about now. But he's still a better player than Brunson. Brunson's our guy, and he's climbing up there. Maybe at the end of this year, I can say otherwise, but you know, Vin should
They're
calm down
gonna
just a
pass
little
each
bit.
other this year. It's gonna go like this, and
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah. Vin, relax. All right. Joe isn't attacking BKE. He just he has a lot of opinions for himself, and I respect that.
Thank you, Mel. I really appreciate that. Maybe we should add you to the admin chat because you're the voice of reason I need when they both get mad at me.
No, I completely agree with you.
We could talk about the actual game though. We don't have to talk about me and Vin fighting.
No, yeah.
Although maybe it's better because this game sucks. What do they shoot from three? What do they shoot from three? 60%? It was at 70% in the third quarter. What?
70?
It hit 70.3 for like one shot, then they missed the next one. But it was at 70% at one point.
And I was trying to look it up right before we started, what percent they usually shoot, like, three-pointers every game. I think I saw it. I think it was either 40. Let me see.
It was 37.3% going in. They are 8th in the league, but
yeah. But that's so crazy. I'm looking at StatMuse. It's similar to what you said. On StatMuse it says 38.4, but 38 or 37 compared to 60% tonight against the Knicks is so beyond wild, and it just has to happen to the Knicks, right?
You knew the game was over when Giannis just banged that one pull-up three. I was just like, it doesn't even matter at this point. This is ridiculous.
God. And this was I believe their season high in points. So it really makes me mad that we gave the Bucks, we let them have the most points that they're probably going to have. I mean, we still got a good chunk of the season left, but I'm just going to assume.
The first half, the Knicks gave up the most points they had in any half this season. The second half, the Knicks gave up the second most points in a half they have this season.
No defense at all tonight. I mean, like, give credit to them. They really shot well, but it's also because we just were not playing defense, and we suck at defending the three. Like, I have to say it over and over. We just suck. There's so many games now. And I'm thinking specifically, who was it when Eric Gordon had like 6 threes? Who were we playing against?
The Suns, yeah.
The Suns. You can even revert it back to last season. It's just an ongoing problem, and we need to defend the three better. We can't be giving a team that usually doesn't shoot this many threes. How many they made 23 tonight, and there were
23 out of 38. Yeah,
they usually average 14 made threes per game, and we gave them 23. It's unacceptable. Where's our 3-point defense?
I can't even take this dude right now. Can I post this one? This is gonna be ridiculous. Like, this dude is going off. What the hell?
Oh my God, Vin.
Just for any audio listeners, when I post this on Podbean in 5 hours, Vin is going off in our chat. If you wanted to look at it live or like replay live, go on our YouTube. But he's writing right now, Josh Hart mixes his Gatorade with breast milk. And if that doesn't tell you what Knicks fans are thinking right now, I don't know what does.
I definitely wasn't thinking about that, though.
No, me neither.
I'm going to highlight another comment here. What's up, Brandon? Thanks for stopping by. He said, this is sad work from the Knicks. Couldn't guard the three to save our lives. Yep. And it was awful. It was horrible from three. Yeah. So, like, not only did we not defend the three, we couldn't hit any. We really couldn't. We only made 7 out of 23, which is 30%. I mean, I tweeted this earlier. I was like, at least if we're not going to make threes, can we at least defend it? Either, one or the other.
Hot take. Should we have let Julius Randle take every shot and go for 100?
Honestly, I wouldn't have even been mad. I don't think I would have been mad.
Like, what
really
the
had
hell?
It going tonight. What did
he made more threes than anyone else on our team. He went 2 for 2. Brunson went 0 for 5. RJ went 1 for 4. I think Grimes needs to be shipped to Siberia at this point. This dude is ice cold. Vanilla ice, baby cold. It's baby, it's cold outside, cold. Walking around a Christmas tree cold. This man is freezing. Iced out there. Like, he's not even doing well on defense. He had 4 fouls in 18 minutes. Like, dude.
Yeah.
IQ. Ben was going off about IQ before. IQ's 1 for 7, 1 for 4 from 3. Oh God, this dude takes 7 shots and likes one of them that's trash. Josh Hart, thankfully, like literally since he said that he doesn't know what his role is, he's played way better. Shout out to both Jason and Kelvin in the chat as well for being here. Dante DiVincenzo only played 17 minutes, even though literally last game he banged 7 threes. He went 7 for 9, and then he only goes 1 for 4 this game and plays Like DDV played 17 and Grimes played 18. How is that happening right now? Grimes is in Antarctica. What's colder? Is Grimes in Pluto? Grimes is in Pluto. He's gone.
I'm not sure which one is colder, but whatever is the coldest, he's exactly there. This is I think his third game, 0-point game in the last 30 days. I was looking at the game log for him and just 0 points tonight. Then he had a 0-point game last Thursday and then a 0-point game 11
against Minnesota. Yep.
Yeah. So this is just crazy. And 3 games doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, the other games are still not extraordinary. You have 6 points, 3 points, 3 points, 11, 12. I mean, those were before. I think he had his little injury though, the 11 and 12.
If anyone's watching us on Twitter, you can come into the YouTube and comment. By the way, you can do it live while we're here.
Oh yeah, I always forget to mention that because I always forget it's streaming through Twitter too, but. Yeah, for sure. Because for some weird reason, Twitter doesn't let you comment unless they think you have premium or something.
I don't know. We pay for Twitter Blue, so I don't even know what the hell.
No, yeah, I think like whoever's watching it has to have Twitter Blue as well to comment.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. That's stupid.
And I'm also not sure if they comment if we would be able to see the comments. It would probably show up here, but I don't know if I've ever gotten a comment from Twitter.
Probably not. We'd probably have to actually be on. Maybe. I mean, if they actually wrote about it, feel like we'd have to be on Twitter, like on the page, and actually be following along. But whatever. We have plenty to talk about. When do we start talking about Grimes? Anonymous, if you just got here, we literally went on a 5-minute rant.
Oh my god, there's so many comments. Wait, hold up. Vin is like, all of his comments are in the way right now.
Yeah, Vin, you're ruining it for everyone else. I get you're mad at me and you think I'm attacking you, but I don't lay eggs. My head is only shaped like one.
Besides Vin, we have Jason here commenting. This game was miserable. It was, and he also said it broke his heart. I'm sorry about that. I feel the same exact way.
Facts.
A lot of people are heartbroken tonight. Look at that broken heart emoji.
It's sad.
What is Vin on about? Like, what is this?
I don't know. Vin's just going insane. Yeah, I was gonna say, can you block him? Can we block him from this?
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Brandon said a top 3 defense and we couldn't guard. Yeah.
I think our team, so this doesn't necessarily match up tonight specifically because Randle actually went off offensively. I mean, defensively, he still obviously can't stop Giannis. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that. But much like Randle usually struggles against teams or power forwards that are better than him or longer than him, I guess this game notwithstanding, our team as a whole is like, Bill Simmons says it all the time about basketball or football teams, but it's like there's like a good bad team or like a bad good team, like however you want to do it. Like if you're like, there are teams that like play teams worse than them and they will always look good. They'll like almost always win. They never blow it. And our team under Tibbs this year specifically, it's like if we're playing against an inferior team, they are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing and getting the W every single time. The worst game we've had against a bad team was the Pistons, and thankfully they are absolutely the worst in the league, so we won the game. When we play teams that are better than us, though, we beat the Heat, but we've lost to the Bucks twice. We lost to the Celtics twice. We lost to the Suns. Like, we don't do well. The Knicks are like in the epitome of like upper mid right now. Oh, I think Vin is it's Vin on Mikey and Al podcast now. I'm pretty sure.
Why? Did you block him?
I didn't do anything. I don't know how.
Okay. Oh yeah, I saw that.
I'm gonna pretend it's Alex. Alex, if it's really you, what up? I don't think you'd be using YouTube at 10:30 at night because I'm pretty sure you have work earlier in the morning. I feel like this still is Vin, but if it's not, what up, Alex?
Yeah. Well, we were just talking about Grimes, but let's get back to it because I think he's probably just the topic of the night, and we need to talk about him. I mean, it's what do we even do at this point? He has no offensive game. The defense tonight didn't look too great. You said he had how many fouls? 4, and it just I don't think it has even been up to par the last few games. I usually, cut him some slack because he's doing his job with his defense, but what do you do when he doesn't do both?
Well, that's what. Remember, I was saying last week that I feel like RJ Barrett actually being better defensively has made Grimes even more expendable. At this point, between RJ playing better defensively and DiVincenzo doing what we've all hoped and prayed Grimes would do thus far, I don't necessarily have to say he's expendable. We've had plenty of players, even players on this team, go through slumps their second or third year, i.e. Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett, and then get back to like either where they should be or almost to where we want them to be. And Grimes might just be really going through it, but he literally could almost get, like, I would almost rather see Deuce McBride in some of those minutes at this point than Quentin Grimes. And I don't need to see, I'm not a starting lineup proponent at all. I literally don't care who starts the game. You could be a starter and play for 2 minutes and be out of the game. Mikal Bridges kept his streak last year, started the game, was in for 9 seconds and left, and he started the game. You know what I mean? I don't care about that. But Grimes being in for any amount of time, early, late, middle, and he's not defending the best player on the court well, and he's not even willing to put up open shots anymore. He played 18 minutes. He took one shot. Your job is to bang threes, bro. At least take them. Jalen Brunson didn't stop shooting. He's over 5. IQ will never stop shooting. He went 1 for 7. We can't even get IQ to stop shooting if he's colder than Grimes, but at least he'll put him up. Like, this dude is just not doing anything for us right now. He's a really fast-moving traffic cone. That's it.
I think he's really going through it, like either mentally or his confidence level is at an all-time low, because for him to not even be taking shots, that definitely speaks volume. He doesn't want, he's just really insecure right now when he's out there on offense. He doesn't want to take the shot, even if he's open or even if he fakes and then he gets open, he still doesn't take it. I don't even know what to say about him. Like, it's just crazy. And I was going to ask you, but obviously you said you don't really care who starts. I was going to ask you, is this the turning point to decide if DiVincenzo should start? But you don't really mind.
I mean, let's put it this way. It's 18 minutes. Like, tonight was 18 minutes Grimes, 17 minutes DiVincenzo. At this point, I need to see like 27 minutes DiVincenzo, 10 minutes Grimes. That's what I need to see, unless Grimes does anything now.
Yeah, I agree. There were certain points of the game tonight where I was feeling it, and I also saw a lot of people tweeting it. Why was Grimes in the game? He wasn't really doing anything. You could have had DiVincenzo in there, or even like you proposed McBride at this point, because he's not contributing to anything. One shot taken. I mean, I don't even understand what happened to his driving ability. He used to be able to drive to the basket. I know we played a tough defense tonight. You got guys like Brook Lopez and Giannis covering the paint there, but it's not just tonight that he hasn't driven to the basket. It's every night.
I listened to a lot of podcasts, and I don't even remember how many of them said this, but mostly from actual NBA writers and people that cover teams professionally. So I would say they all probably know the game more than you and I combined. Yeah. They mostly all cited that last year in the playoffs, the Cavs kind of picked it up, but their coaching was terrible, Bickerstaff. But obviously the Heat with Spoelstra, just like, if Grimes is driving, he's looking to pass. He's not looking to put up a layup. He's not looking to put up a floater. Play him to pass. And they started almost leaving him not wide open, but the big that's supposed to be the help side big would kind of like feign blocking him, and he would still pass out. And I think at this point, like, Grimes has just been doing that for the better half of a year and a half now. He doesn't drive to finish. He drives to pass because is he scared? Is he like too selfless? Like, part of basketball, especially being a shooter, is being a selfish dude. Like, put the ball up.
He does not look selfish at all out there.
He looks scared.
You wouldn't think that he's a shooter. You would think he's just out there for defense, but we know he can. We know he can shoot. He's done it. He's done it last season. He's made multiple threes. Even this season, he made multiple threes, and before he had that wrist injury and everything. But ever since he's come back from that, part of me wonders if he came back too quick, because he only missed one game, I think, from the wrist injury. And I was a little surprised when he did come back so quick, because DiVincenzo, started that game he missed, and he had a good game. And I wanted to see a little bit more of DiVincenzo starting, but Grimes was back quick, and I don't know, maybe his wrist is still bothering him.
I'm starting to think he might have come back fast because he knew he would lose his job. Like, literally, it's the same thing as Cam Reddish and last year, right? Reddish kind of tweaked something. I think it was a hamstring. He then started playing poorly, and Grimes came back and he was in, and that was it. Grimes literally got his job that way.
I think we hit I saw a tweet about it. I think we hit the 1-year anniversary of Tibbs making the 9-man rotation and removing Reddish, Rose, anyone else from the rotation right there. Fournier,
yeah, I think it was December 3rd, the Mavericks game.
Yeah, but ever since that 9-man rotation was implemented, they had a better record, started playing better, won games, and I don't know. Let's see if Tibbs does any adjustments coming up, because this was a bad loss. And, Knicks Anonymous said it right here. We have a losing record against better teams. I'm not sure of the record we have against teams above 500 or teams better than us. I know at some point we had not beat a team that was above 500, which really concerned me. I think
the Heat were the first one.
Yeah. So.
Or no, we beat the Cavs. I think the Cavs are above 500. So it might be 2-9, 2-8. I think it's almost every one of our losses.
Yeah. It's concerning, honestly. Like, at first, I didn't think too much of it because I know we're learning. It's a learning game, learning how to execute down the stretch and close out these games really well, because these are great teams we're playing against. But at this point, I'm just concerned for the Knicks, the team overall. And it's not like this game was close at all. Towards the end there, the second half, they completely let themselves go. And we let the Bucks put up 146 points. Unacceptable.
Way too much. Grand, Kareem, and Jonathan, what up? I see you guys are all in the chat right now. Jonathan, yeah, we have 3 more against the Bucks, which at this point, if we go 1-4, it might be a good thing. Grand, Ayo, Quentin Grimes and Mayo quickly can be traded tomorrow. Give me DeRozan, give me picks. I don't give a fuck. I still want to hang on to Quickly. I think it might be a little Quickly. I actually have faith to get in and out of slumps. Grimes is the one that we're kind of more concerned about. But Grand has a really good comment at the bottom. The last one. We have no lineup right here. We have no... Oh, we both pressed it. We have no lineup that can beat the Bucks. This is on Tibbs. Dante, Deuce, or Jesus couldn't save us. The Bucks are big and long, man, and this is what we talked about the whole offseason with not having a backup four. It's not even having a backup four. It's that our lineup as a whole is small. Jalen Brunson's 6'1", 6 foot. Mill, you actually met him in person. Is Jalen Brunson 6'1", or do you think he's shorter than they lie?
No, I think Vin was taller than him, and
Vin's 6'4".
No, he's not 6'4". Is he like 6'3"?
Something like that.
No way Vin is 6'4". But I think Vin was still taller than him, so we got to figure that out. I mean,
but Grimes is like 6'4", and he can't shoot or do anything. Barrett's 6'6", Randle's 6'7", like 6'8". The thing about Randle being 6'8" is that he doesn't jump like that high. Like, he has a 7-foot wingspan, but you can tell when he's playing defense, he doesn't like have major hops. And then Mitch is 7 foot with a 7'4" wingspan, and then you go up against Brook Lopez, 7'1", 7'6" wingspan. Giannis, 6'11", 7'4" wingspan. Bobby Portis, 6'11", 7'3" wingspan. And those three are on the court together half the time, and then we couldn't cover a three-pointer to save our damn life.
Yep. And you just mentioned it, like, having no backup four is just really killing us. I mean, we have Josh Hart guarding Chris Middleton, and I don't know who's guarding
Bobby Portis. It was Josh Hart on Bobby Portis for part of it.
Portis, right? And it's not a good matchup. Who was guarding Middleton?
RJ or Dante?
I mean, it's not a good matchup.
What are you doing with that? Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, Mitch really struggled against his matchup tonight against Brook Lopez, and it's not really because of the height, but it's just because Brook Lopez could really stretch the floor, and obviously is a three-point shooter. So we saw Mitch struggle. And it's similar to, like, it really reminded me of the Boston Celtics game when we played Porzingis, and our very first game of the season. We saw Mitch struggle because he's not really comfortable getting out there to defend the three. And I don't really blame him. That's just how he is. And he's a traditional center, so he likes staying down low in the paint. But he has to get better at that because we play the Bucks, like you said, who said it 3 more times.
Yeah.
And there's going to be other teams like the Celtics who have a center that can shoot threes. He needs to adjust better and get out there to defend the three against Lopez and whoever else.
When you saw Sims go in at the very end, like Sims was the first of the 5 bench players, like the garbage time bench players to go in, and we were down like 19. It was only with 3 minutes left, so like, yeah, the game is basically over. But did that not make you think you kind of wish you saw Sims for a little bit longer? Because Sims is better at covering the perimeter than Mitch and Ihart, even though he's worse at basketball at basically all the other parts.
Yes. I think, yeah, I mean, Sims, it's tricky because we like saw a lot from Sims last year, and I don't think he's like terrible or anything like that. But Mitch has been great for us, and you obviously wouldn't like bench him or Hardenstein for Sims right now, with the way like things have been going. But a few minutes from him couldn't hurt, especially just because the matchup was really difficult tonight for Robinson.
Yeah. Grant and Jonathan are like going saying opposite things to each other, which I find entertaining.
Let's see. Oh, we have a Reddish comment. Jonathan is on Cam Reddish tonight.
Oh yeah, because I mentioned Reddish before. Reddish wasn't getting enough minutes too, and he also said Quickly didn't have a slump last year. I'm pretty sure Quickly had a bad time in December, like right when the Knicks actually were starting to get it going, and we all were like, imagine if Quick gets it going. This is going to be so great. And then they got Josh Hart and actually helped Quickly out a little bit. I don't know if Cam Reddish. So I go to therapy. I definitely have. My therapist hasn't actually diagnosed me with anything, but I have like a form of anxiety. I feel like watching Cam Reddish, and I feel like watching Julius Randle too. They both suffer from something that like a lesser person, like a weaker individual, would probably try to get medication for. And I feel like Julius Randle, like doing meditation, like yoga, like all the things that he's done in the past few years, tries to like keep his mind at ease and body right. And we see it on the court. You can see Randle sometimes just checks out, like looks like he doesn't care sometimes. And Reddish went through the same thing. And Reddish looks like he goes through the same thing. And I do that a lot of times. Like it's like a version of escapism that you just stop wanting, like something you don't like is happening, so you stop existing almost, like you stop paying attention to it altogether. And I just don't think Cam Reddish it was good enough or had enough like get-go with the front office that Tibbs would ever bother to handle that or get him to go through it. And I think that's kind of why Cam Reddish got stuck on the bench prior to leaving.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with what you're saying. It could be that, and especially because, like you said, you're going to therapy and you can understand. You can probably see it through many people now, not just basketball players. You probably see it.
No, I see it with a lot of people I work with too. Just my job isn't on TV, and it doesn't matter as much.
Oh, I get that. But good for Reddish. What he's doing on the Lakers. I heard they have a good record with him, like with him playing or him starting. I don't know if he starts, but
he does sometimes. His defensive tenacity has been really good.
Yeah, that's been his thing, and that's the thing that he got benched for supposedly. But good for him.
So when does Grimes get benched?
Oh, the question of the night, because everyone in here is upset about Grimes, and especially Grant. I saw this comment. He's upset about Quickly too.
Yeah.
I agree. I was upset about Randle and Brunson are really the only people who showed up tonight. Also RJ, he had 23, but that first half was a little brutal, or he showed up mainly in the second half, and the points he were getting when we were down like 15 or 20, and it didn't contribute to a comeback or really anything. So, I need him to show up in the first half.
Yeah.
It's also unsettling I know he had 23, I gotta mention again, but it's a little unsettling that since his migraine, he hasn't really been the same player as well, nor has his 3-point shooting.
I know some people on Knicks Twitter or X always talk about Julius Randle having civil rights numbers. I know it started with State. I think other people have mimicked the phrase though. RJ Barrett's getting close to that the last 10 games. I mean, he went 7 of 18 tonight, and that's better than what he's been doing overall. So, whatever this migraine was, if it was actually also partly a leg injury, whatever he has had or had going, it's definitely been affecting him, or maybe we should just really come to grips with like this is what RJ is. He's first of all he's only 23, and we can say that for so long. Maybe he'll get better when he's like 27, 28. Jalen Brunson is 27 and is going to make his first All-Star team now and is a top 25 player in the NBA.
A late bloomer.
Yeah, maybe RJ's just a late bloomer that's been in the NBA longer. We don't know. But, I mean, efficiency and RJ are just always going to be two guys on the opposite side of the rope playing tug-of-war.
I know, and I don't want to come to terms with that he's just not going to be like an efficient player and not going to be 20 plus points per game type of guy for us, because they mentioned on the broadcast before tonight he hadn't had a 20 plus game or 20 point game since mid-November. He did have one tonight, but I said it before, most of his points just came in that second half where he did nothing. I mean, we were down that entire half and we did do a little bit of a comeback, but it really wasn't anything. I don't think we cut it to to single digits.
No.
So
one thing that I remember Hanlon telling me when I interviewed him was that like they make sure to really focus on one thing every offseason. And if we are going to put a positive spin on what RJ's been doing, his free throw shooting is up. Like I think after tonight, like 11 or 12% from last year. He was 83% going into tonight and went 8 for 8 tonight. So maybe at this rate, like if they just keep working on little by little, one major skill every single year. And then maybe this offseason's back to catch and shoot again, because his catch and shoot started off hot and then he got hurt and then it's not. Like maybe sooner or later he'll get there. But again, maybe he's like 27, 28 years old when it happens. And is he a Knick at that point still? Because it's like if it takes you that long to show off what we wanted as like a third overall pick, if this was the NFL and you're a quarterback, man, you're on your fourth team by now. You know what I mean? You don't get 9 years, 8 years to try to figure it out. You're Geno Smith on the Seahawks. Like it takes a while.
It's very true, and I don't know what to do, because he's been in trade scenarios before, trade discussions, and nothing has happened. Obviously, he's still here. There was that big trade, discussion with Donovan Mitchell that summer, and obviously we didn't do it. And there's been a lot more ever since. I can't even recall the amount of trade discussions he's been in, but at some point you just have to wonder, like, was it worth it? Was it worth it to keep him here? Even though he might be a late bloomer, but having a late bloomer kind of sucks. It just sucks right now when you want to have winning basketball and you want to contend for a championship.
Is that you playing that? Oh, wait,
what?
no, never mind.
Oh.
A video in my background literally started playing that I've had muted for 24 hours. I was like, what is happening?
No, I got scared.
No, yeah, that was me.
Let's see what else we have over here. I mean, you can highlight any if you want.
Yeah, Jonathan also agreed that Tibbs needs to use Jericho more often. I really think that there are times, like, the thing is, we're 13, what are they, 13-8 now? They were 13-7 going into the game, right? Am I right or wrong about that? They're 12-8 now. They're 12-7 going into the game. They're going to be underdogs against the Celtics, so they might be 12-9. But even still, 12-9, you're like 5th or 6th place. You're on the way to making the playoffs again. But like we know that with this team, and almost the thing is we fought and clawed so long about Tibbs not playing enough people or like this rotation's too short, blah blah. Now for some reason the NBA is at the point that almost every team runs a 9-man, at most 10-man rotation. Like there's not a lot of 11-man rotations anymore being ran, but I really think Deuce and Sims should get run sometimes. And I don't know why they don't or can't, especially like when we were playing the Hornets back-to-back or the Wizards. Like, how are they not getting on the court unless there's an injury?
I don't know. It's strange because Tibbs, like, I never know what's going on in his mind. He's just a very mysterious coach. Like, we don't know why we do know. It comes out eventually why he benches players, obviously, especially like guys like Fournier and Reddish back then, and it comes out, but this is a different scenario where we want to know why guys like McBride or even Sims aren't getting just a few more minutes, because they were getting minutes last season.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it should take an injury. And we talk about literally how our backup four, not even just the backup four, like our team as a whole is small. Sometimes maybe, I'm not saying we can't run two bigs out there with Mitch and one of them.
Yeah, and how long do we keep McBride just on the bench as our backup point guard?
I don't know. I have no clue because I mean, next year he would be a free not this season. At the end of this season, I'm pretty sure at the end of next season he gets to like test free agency if he wants. And wouldn't you
Yeah.
just ask to be traded at some point? Like if you're going into a contract year and you've played a third of the games possible, even though when you're out there, like what's the difference between you and Jose Alvarado outside of Jose Alvarado gets minutes and you don't? We don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Like you said it. What did Grant
Grant,
say?
get rid of IQ before he leaves for free agency, throwing Grimes and 2 picks to whatever destination IQ wants to go. Get that team's best player. I'll let you take that.
Oof. This is tough because like IQ, obviously, he started the season off pretty great. And, we kept saying, pay that man, pay him. He should get his contract this summer. But then there's games like this where he's not our sixth man of the year and he doesn't show up. And it could definitely change your mind on a lot of things and make you want to trade him. He did struggle in the both playoff series, against the Cavs and the Miami Heat. So,
and then he was out.
There's just a lot of. Oh yeah, he did get injured in the Miami Heat series, right?
Yeah, but he didn't have one good game.
Yeah. So as a fan, you remember times like that, especially when you see a game like this, you get flashbacks. I got a lot of flashbacks tonight for so many things.
Against the good teams this year, this IQ has been so inconsistent against like the top teams that we were talking about the Knicks can't really beat. The first game against Boston, 24 off the bench. Great start.
It was great.
Against New Orleans, 10 points, over 3 from 3. Not the best. 18 in both games against Cleveland, which, I mean, hopefully if we play Cleveland again in the playoffs, he can actually do that. Against the Clippers, he got 7. Against Boston, he got 7 again. 1 for 10 shooting. Does well against Atlanta and Washington, like the mediocre or worse teams.
Yeah.
Phoenix, he got 18. Good. Toronto, he got 10, which he only took 6 shots and went 3 of 6. I actually like that more if you don't seem like you're like doing well or like have it going. And so then he won 1 of 7 for 7 points. This is just a total model of inconsistency. And there are so many of these games where it's like the games that he has 10 plus shots, it's like some of them are like 1 of 10, 2 of 10, 3 of 10, 2 of 10, 1 of 7. Like, what am I? Are you jacking? Like, aren't you a point? Like, if you're supposed to be a backup point guard, like, and you know you don't have it, you got to distribute.
Very true. It's so frustrating. Just looking at all of the inconsistent Knicks on our team. This is why, like, I don't even get excited about games where we play the Pistons, the Hornets, or any other terrible team and we win and it's a great win and we're all happy in the post game and like we think players like Josh Hart or Quickly or even DiVincenzo will continue to do this against great teams. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Like I just don't get hype around. Like obviously I was very excited to see DiVincenzo have like a 20 plus game and then Hart recently had his like 17 game and he really showed out for the first time this season. And Quickly, you listed the games. He's been really inconsistent, but there's been some great games for him, especially the first one against the Celtics. Like, I can't find myself to get too excited about that because they don't replicate it against really great teams. When we, it goes back to the Miami Heat series when the same thing happened.
And then it's all on Brunson. I mean, if we can get Randle half as good as tonight against the great teams consistently and in the playoffs, like it'd be funny that we would actually have good playoff Randle finally, and our team would actually be doing worse because even teams like want Randle to go off sometimes because if Randle's going off, it means he does lead our team in assists more often than not. It's not Brunson. It's usually Randle. Or they actually went into tonight with the exact same average, and Brunson had 1 more assist than him tonight. If the two of them are shooting well and not spreading it out, teams kind of want to live with that because then no one else is involved, and we have a bunch of Quentin Grimes.
I mean, we didn't really talk about it too much tonight, but Randle did have a great game. Maybe I think his best game of the season so far. One of his
100%.
Yeah, and 41 points for him, 14 of 19 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3, and you mentioned that was the best 3-point percentage from it compared to any other Knick tonight.
He
And
made more
also,
threes than anyone, and everyone else took 4 or 5 shots that like got 1 or 0.
yeah, and 12 free throws, made 11 of 12. Props to him for actually making his free throws. No shade towards Jalen Brunson, who missed 3, but Jalen Brunson is so erratic from the free throw line, and I really don't get it because point guards are typically really great free throw shooters, and I don't know Brunson's percentage last season from the free throw line. I don't think he was this terrible because he's just missing a lot, like every game. Not a lot, but it's just like randomly 1 for 2, or I don't know. It's just
I'm gonna blow your
I don't
mind.
like seeing it.
I'm gonna actually blow your mind. Last year he shot 82.9%, and this
No,
year,
did he?
and this year he's shooting 83%.
It didn't even seem that terrible.
I think it seemed like last year he made more clutch free throws.
Except for the one.
Yeah.
Except for that one time DeRozan got in his head.
Oh yeah.
That was really crazy to me. But he needs to get better at that.
Yeah.
Come on.
We haven't even touched on, like, the Bucks have been great. The Bucks are great. I feel like we should talk about Milwaukee a little bit. Like, Giannis had 35, 10 and 8,
Yeah.
almost had a triple double, and like no one can stop this guy. Even with Randle going off for 41 and shooting absolutely incredibly well. Like, I mean, Vin's gone, but you can still tell Giannis is the best player on the court. Like, the way he can control the game. The guy can take one dribble and travel and get away with it because it's so beautiful to watch. Like, the guy takes one dribble and 4 steps from the half court and dunks the ball. That's incredible. Lillard went off and didn't even seem like he shot that much. He only took 13 attempts, 8 of 13, 28 points, 7 of 8 from the fields. Like, Malik Beasley just...
Oh my god.
His best game of the year, he went 6 of 10 from deep. All 18 of his points were from 3. And then Middleton, Portis, Beauchamp, like, all these Campaign. Why is Campaign killing us? Like, what is this? Like, just no one missed. It felt like no one missed.
Campaign went 2 out of 3 from the 3-point line.
He went 5 of 6. The other ones were all floaters. He missed 1 3. He had 12 points in 14 minutes. No one on our team had 12 points in 14 minutes. Anyone that played 14 minutes sucked.
Oh my god, yeah, definitely give credit to the Bucks. They're clearly proving they're a great team, and Lillard's definitely settling in now. They mentioned that when he scores like over 20 points, I believe, they have a great record when he does. I think they've only lost 1 game when he scores that much, and
yeah,
he definitely had a great game. I don't think he had this great of a game the last time we played the Bucks. He did have a clutch 3, which
I think he got 30.
Did he?
He got 30. The thing is, he took way more shots. Yeah, he went 7 of 15 last time. He got 12. He got 12 free throws last time. He just draws a lot of fouls, and a lot of them are kind of bullshit.
Yeah, great shooting from him tonight, though, and like Beasley completely went off. I want to know how many threes this guy averages a game before he played the Knicks tonight, because 6 out of 10 from the 3-point line for him. He shoots really well from the 3-point line. That's what they mentioned. I think like 40 something percent.
Is that 45%? He takes a lot. Most of these games, it looks like he takes like between 5 and 7.
All right, so he's around his average. Just couldn't contain him tonight.
2 games ago, he went 5 of 15 from 3 against the Bulls. Why couldn't we get that?
I know, right? I mean, it just seemed like every 3 he shot, he made. He's a great 3-point shooter.
Yeah, and he played good defense
really
against Brunson and at the point of attack too.
Their defense was suffocating at times, and especially in that second half, it's just they really shut us down offensively, because in the first half we were able to keep up. Obviously, we were only down 3 points at the halftime, 72-75. So they were doing great in the first half, but it's also like the second half they completely shut down the Knicks and just continued to make their shots.
I can't believe they shot over 60% from deep.
I know. I really
can't believe it. That was the literal epitome of like why.
Field and 3-point line, right?
Yeah, that's the literal epitome of like when people like when you hate the Tom Thibodeau defense when it's at its absolute worst, it's that you constantly give up 3-pointers to clog the paint, and they just went off.
Beasley is who we need Grimes to be. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we need a lot of people for Grimes to be someone.
I think Grimes was averaging 11 points last season. That's like right around where Beasley's at this season.
Grimes could have been Marjon Beauchamp for all I care. At least this dude makes a three sometimes. Like,
My God. No, the regression from Grimes right now, I mean, I know he's in a shooting slump, but if it continues, I don't even know what to say at this point.
yeah, he's gonna get benched. I mean, he's not gonna get benched because like Tibbs seems like he loves him a lot, but like there's gonna be a point where he's not starting. Trade Jalen for Giannis. Yeah, Grand, you and I wish both, man. I don't think this will ever happen, but that would be nice. It'd be nice to get the second best player in the league.
I was really mad when Giannis signed his extension because we really need someone like him.
When he signed the extension, I thought he would still be traded in a year and a half, and then they got Dame, and that was the end of it.
Yeah. So all those little things just really broke my heart. Just because there was hints. I mean, not even hints. I wouldn't call them hints. But obviously the way the Bucks went out in the postseason last year wasn't great. And then he mentioned that he wants to win a championship, and if that means somewhere else where, he has to get it done. Just dropping little things that made it seem like maybe a trade could happen. Then nothing happened. Here we are. I want to 100% give credit to Julius Randle tonight. He was great and had 41. But I would still like Giannis if that was even remotely possible.
You and I both. I said this in the off season when I was talking to myself doing nothing, and Vin and Ange were both just saying how much they love Jalen Brunson and he's the greatest ever. I was like, dude, I would literally trade Brunson, Randle, and RJ for Giannis Antetokoumpo because you do whatever it takes to get a top 3, top 5 player.
Yeah.
Without that dude, you can't win a title. It is what it is.
I know. And I don't even know what to do right now. Like, do we take this loss as fuel to start trade discussions and all that?
Well, here, we play the Celtics next now. So we play the Celtics on Friday now because we've lost this game instead of playing the Pacers in Las Vegas, which the Bucks get to do now. So we're gonna have to talk about an L more likely than not. The Celtics haven't lost yet at home this year, so that's rough. So we might lose Friday, and then we could get more into the sky is falling, even though they're 12-9, or they would be 12-9.
This is gonna be difficult. The Celtics, and then we play the Bucks a few more times, and it's not looking good for us right now. Especially if the matchup is always going to be like this against the Bucks.
Yeah,
we can't defend them
for sure. I asked on Threads a couple days ago from the BK Threads account, like, what does everyone? I posted the schedule for December, which is really hard. The Knicks play like 4 home games the whole month. It's just a lot of really tough teams. They play the Bucks 3 times now because they play them the day before Christmas and Christmas, or the 23rd and 25th. We're playing the Celtics, I think, twice or at least one more time, if not 2 more times. They play the Raptors again next week. Like, thankfully they play the Jazz, but they play the Suns again. We have to play the Clippers and Lakers in LA back to back. The Nets, OKC, Orlando, and Indiana. All 3 of those are away. Like, and I literally was like, people, and you know how Knicks fans are, just pretentious, like, rah, we're the best New Yorkers, get off my lawn, I'm walking here, blah, blah. And like, it was like, probably 10-3, like at worst 9-4. And I'm like, what the, like, what? Did we get Nikola Jokic? I didn't know. Like, what the hell? And I wrote, if we go 7-6, I would be happy. So if we can get 7-6 out of this chaotic schedule, that'd be awesome.
Craziest thing is, before the season started, I remember looking, and everyone was like, "What are we thinking about the first 10?" And I was so confident. I said like 7-3. We did go 5-5, which isn't bad, but I took us winning against the Celtics, and I don't know who else was in that first 10 games, but we need to calm down a little bit. We need to be realistic when we're looking at these matchups.
Jonathan's one of those dudes, man. Jonathan's one of the dudes that thinks the Knicks are going to be the best with Jalen Brunson and a bunch of other people. So I respect and love that type of fandom and tenacity. I feel like I watch too much basketball and too many other teams to deep dive all the way into that.
Yeah, I mean, going into every game, like even going into every game, I do obviously expect the Knicks to win. We're at a point, you know, in the last few years, especially at this point where we are right now, I think we're a good team and we have a better chance of winning than we did in the last few years. And, you know, I have more confidence in the Knicks to win a game against anybody, you know, even if it's top
Facts,
teams
100%.
in the league. Yeah. Anything could happen, honestly. We've seen crazy things happen. I remember like one year the Knicks beat the Warriors when we were like awful. I don't even know what year it was. I don't think it was their it wasn't their 73-9 season. Might have been more recently. But they were still they had a good record. So anything
and the Knicks' best player was like Tim Hardaway Jr. Yeah, like any given night.
Happen. And yeah, like I know before, like in 2018, 17, 16, all those years, we obviously you would know the Knicks are going to lose a game. You didn't have to think about it. You just knew it against certain teams. But obviously this year, even last year, I have a lot more hope for them. So
100%.
I don't count them out. But you do know the percentages. You know, okay, they have a better chance at winning this game and a lower chance at winning other games.
Grand wrote, we cannot beat the Bucks, Celtics, Heat, Warriors, or Nuggets without one more star. All of their talk is BS. I agree with the idea behind this. I don't know if I agree with all the teams. The Bucks, Celtics, and Nuggets for sure. I would take the Warriors out. The Warriors are kind of not the best well put together team right now, and they are looking old and more like a boxing team every single time Draymond Green does anything. I do think if we actually play the Heat in the playoffs every year, 3 years in a row, we'd win one of the three. Just with the team, the way they are actually put together right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Like, I get they have Butler and Bam and Eric Spoelstra, and I understand that's a lot, and it's really hard to win in Miami during the playoffs when their fans actually show up to a game in general. But they are a bunch of role players and a bunch of guys that are like over 35, and that could always fall apart at any given moment. So I would take out the Heat and the Warriors of this, but I don't think we could beat the 76ers with the way Embiid's playing in a 7-game series. And I wouldn't take us over the Suns or the Lakers. So either way, it's like the Knicks are somewhere between 8th and 12th best, which is at the end of the day upper mid, and we do need another star. But this team is really, really, really fun to cheer for. And they are actually really good, and that is amazing to have. And stars, I mean, DeRozan literally said we're one of two teams he wants to play for. When is the last time you heard anyone say that about the New York Knicks? Melo? And what was before that? 20 years?
But also, he's saying this very late in his career.
Well, no, I'm not saying I want DeRozan, just that anyone said that in general. Yeah. I don't think DeRozan helps us beat those teams.
I think everyone, like, towards the end of their career, like, they want to play on the Knicks, like, at least once in their life. I don't know why it's a thing, but I think it is.
Do you want to live in New York or LA when you're, like, in your mid to late 30s?
Yeah, exactly. Those two locations. I suggest LA for him, though.
Yeah. Or go to Miami, man. Miami's literally already AARP home, senior citizen homemanship, so you can just do whatever you want there. And you 100%. You can literally just take shots away from Jimmy Butler, who doesn't want to play during the regular season a third of the time anyway. He would be happy to let you do it. And Bam plays defense behind you. You wouldn't have Nikola Vucevic, who doesn't do anything after you don't do anything. Bunch of traffic cones.
True. I'll be really curious to see where he goes, if anywhere. Or even if the Knicks engage in some trade talks with him. Or the Bulls, I should say.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the Bulls need to blow it up one way or another.
Yeah, I don't know. If either Levine or DeMar is leaving, I'll be curious to see if both or neither leave.
If neither leaves and DeRozan walks for free at the end of this year, one, he's not going to get a bag like he wants anywhere else. And two, that's just terrible, terrible GMing.
Yeah, because I think Zach LaVine really wants to get out of there.
Yeah. He's another dude that should play defense. Maybe we'll get to go do something.
The Grand said Thibodeau isn't the problem. It's our star power. It's also our defense. Our defense sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good unless we play good teams. This one's mad funny. This is totally not right because Michael Jordan played, but I mean, the sentiment's there, you know? Like, I actually wonder how good Charles Barkley would be if he played now. Wouldn't Charles Barkley just be like Zion and then all of a sudden everyone's like 6'10", 6'11", shooting threes over him? Because that wasn't a thing in the 90s.
Yeah. Charles Barkley is so random to think about.
Yeah. John is just naming all the teams that we beat in one game, which I respect and love as a fan. He's like, we beat the Warriors, we beat the Lakers, we beat the Nuggets. Granted, we beat the Nuggets without Jokic because I remember that game. It was in Denver on a back-to-back to beat the Jazz. We beat the Jazz and Nuggets back-to-back to kind of like show people early on, like, oh, maybe this team's better than the one a year ago that missed the playoffs. But John, it was without Jokic. John, I agree with like the sentiment behind this. Like Mill was saying before, we could beat anyone on any given night. It's when you say you can't beat them, like what Grand wrote before, we can't beat these teams. He's saying in a 7-game series. Like, if you beat these teams 2 out of 7 times, you lost 4-2. Like, that's what we're really talking about, not the one-off.
And I don't know how we get there to be on that next level to compete with these teams.
It's got a star. It's got a top 10 player.
And how do we do that? Like it's so complicated. Who do we get?
So here, I'll actually throw this to you the opposite way. And I think we should probably end it like after this because we're about to hit an hour and I still have to do the other thing with you for Instagram subscriptions. Okay. So let's say you're another team. You're not a Knicks fan. You're a different team.
Wait, hold up. I can't hear you no more. It just cut out.
My mic does the thing once every time we're playing that it's just like, this is it. So pretend you're a Sixers fan, but you don't hate New York, you know? And you know Joel Embiid is leaving, and he's like, I want to go to New York. You have to send me to New York. You're a Sixers fan. Who are you asking for on the Knicks? Like, what players do you want that currently play for the Knicks?
After watching this game, no one.
In general, like you've watched their division rivalry, you've seen them for the past year. Like, who would you ask for?
Would you want me to? I mean, should I pick obviously the best players on our team, like Brunson, Randle?
Well, that's the idea, right? Because obviously you'd be. I mean, generally, I would assume Leon Rose is like Jalen Brunson, 100% not on the table. Yeah. And if you're the Sixers and you have Tobias Harris, and you're not trading Tobias Harris, you have him, you're probably not going to want Randle. But every time you bring up trading RJ Barrett to a Knicks fan for a superstar, they get so mad, and it's like, dude, pretend you were the other team. You know, like, you're asking for Barrett, Grimes, and Quickly. It's not like you're keeping one of your favorites. You're asking for all of them. You need Fournier or someone else. You need Fournier in this deal just to make the money match. And because Fournier is actually a negative asset, I need an extra pick. So I need like 5 first-round picks and all of your best young players if you're not going to give me Brunson or Randle. And it's what it takes to get a superstar. Like Kevin Durant trade was Mikal Bridges, who is literally better than anyone I named on that list. Cam Johnson, someone else. It wasn't Dinwiddie because he was already there. Another player, and Jay Crowder, I think, or someone like that to make the money match. And 4 first-round picks for Kevin Durant. Like, you basically keep your best player, and you have to trade your 2nd, 3rd, and 5th best player to get the superstar.
Yeah. And at this point, it's on the table to discuss that, I think.
Grant just said what I basically... Yeah, exactly. You can trade RJ Grimes quickly and picks for an all-star to make our team better.
It should be considered. It should be on the table. I mean, quickly is going to be a free agent this summer. We should consider trading him and get something valuable in return just while we can.
If they don't plan on matching the thing, absolutely.
If they don't plan on matching it, and then Grimes is just contributing in no way. I don't mind trading him. Like, I really don't. At this point, I don't.
Yeah. For anyone that's been listening to us, listening, I guess, to more me at this point, because I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, like, when Brad was my co-host, he swore that Grimes was the best of the three, and I just was like, there's no shot. There's no way this is ever going to pan out. The Allen Houston comparisons have gone way too far, and we are gone a deep, dark path for Grimes to be the opposite dude.
When I asked Allen Houston what players are most similar to him in today, or like on the Knicks, he did say a little bit of Grimes. And a little
is Grand also Vin?
Wait, I have no idea.
Who else would ask if we have merch? Yes, we have merch at bignickenergy.com. You should check out all of your merch there. The code for Christmas is Xmas23. If you order before December 11th, you get free shipping and guaranteed. It is Vin. I knew it. Exactly. This dude. This guy. He blended in by saying common good things.
Why are you going to like 3 YouTube accounts? What's going on here?
Oh my god.
Like, is he on his phone? Is he on his laptop? Like, what's going on?
He's just been logging out and logging in on his phone.
He's getting his views doing that, so thank you, Vin.
Yeah.
We do have merch on Vin. We have merch, if you didn't know. If you didn't design them.
Oh my god. I feel so bad pulling up all of his things that I agreed with now.
That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, Mill, you have anything else to say after that? I'm so sad. I feel like I've got.
I think we've gotten most of our points across. This game was awful. The defense was awful. The 3-point shooting was awful. 7 threes. You know, sometimes when we have a really good game and we make like 16 plus 3-pointers, I always want to say, we finally have 3-point shooting. It's not the truth.
I mean, at this point, imagine we had 3-point defense.
Or even that.
Either one.
I would think it's easier though for them to make threes and defend it. I don't know.
Yeah. Something.
Because DiVincenzo is a good 3-point shooter. Quickly is. Hart, I guess he is.
Comes and goes.
Yeah, comes and goes. But most of our bench, you know, they can shoot the 3.
Oh my god. I didn't agree with all your points.
I was disappointed that Brunson. Let me look at this really quick. He was 0 for 5 from 3-point line tonight. So I think, you know, he had a good game, but that also really shifted things going 0 for 5 because he's usually the past few games been making multiple threes. I mean, sometimes he makes 6 or even more than that, but 0 for him tonight.
Everyone has a bad game. Unfortunately, almost all of our team, except for Julius Randle on offense, had a bad game at the same time. At the same damn time.
What are the odds of that happening?
I don't know. Maybe they'll happen again Friday against the Celtics.
Yeah. I mean, it actually happened in the playoffs too.
Yeah. The last game except for Brunson when Randle and RJ went a combined like 4 of 30, whatever.
Oh my god.
God, they're so good against good teams. No, they're not.
If you have anything else you want to get off your chest before we close it up.
No. Let's go, Knicks. I wore a sticker. Where is it? Fell off. I had a sticker that said, it said hello, I'm a silly goose, but it fell off.
Silly goose.
My fiance went to do axe throwing and she wore this, and then I got it for this the sad excuse of a post game because the Knicks made me so sad. It's not fair. Go to picnicenergy.com.
The Knicks were silly goose tonight.
They were silly gooses.
All right. The next time we play is Friday, the 8th, and we play 7:30 against the Celtics.
Yep.
All right. I'll see you guys then. Joe, if you don't have anything else to say.
Cut my wrists and black my eyes. Trade for a superstar or I die. That's all I got.
If you're still here watching on the replay, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and the thumbs up button. We appreciate it. And Joe mentioned it just a little bit ago. If you don't know, we do have merch. Go to bignickenergy.com, and we're doing free shipping. Free shipping until the 11th. Code is XMISS23. Go check it out. We have some great stuff up there.
That we do. Mel's the hoodie on right now. Let's go Knicks.
Definitely. And it's so comfy. I've been wearing this thing for the past 3 days.
No one needed to know that.
All right. Guys, I'll see you after the Bucks game on Friday. Have a good night. Bye.